Alright boys, like I promised, we got our battery back and let's check it out. Like I said, I had some issues, but luckily Shy still haven't figured out exactly how you pronounce the name 100% correctly, so you will have to excuse me there. But yeah, we got our battery back, or a different one of the two. And so I'm looking forward to seeing what's up with this one, because I don't know if you guys remember me mentioning that oh heck yeah, they did send it. So this is a new hardware kit too for the battery. Oh wow, they sent everything on here all over again, even though I had this stuff. That's cool of them. See, like I said, good peeps. They're good peeps. Some more stickers. Heck yeah, I'm gonna have to slap those on this battery. Here, let me one hand. Let me set the camera down real quick. I can yank this open and show you guys real quick. All right. So this is our new piece that's supposed to go. How'd this sucker go? Looks like this ish or something. I don't know. I gotta figure that out. Like this, like that. Oops. I just realized I wasn't even pointing the camera in the right direction. Oh, probably the seat goes like this, huh? Yeah, buddy. So something like that. So it's supposed to cover up more of that big old gap that's left with their other design. So that's pretty cool. Kind of excited for this. Bridge that gap. I need to get a bigger, thicker seat. Now that this is sitting so far up there like that, that big old seat will actually look pretty nice on there. And then get a seat cover for this as well. Figure out what kind of color scheme we're gonna go with that. So let me, as you guys can see, battery's unopened. Let me grab this really quick and take it out, and I'll show you guys what's up. So I unboxed it a little bit, just so I can show you guys what the battery percentage is that they shipped it with. Seems like it's just about the same as last time. It'll take a little bit to get up to what it actually is, so it'll probably reach like 26. Watch, maybe 27, but I doubt it. Normally it's just a couple, 2 or 3 tops. So there you go, settled on, oh, can you guys see that, on 26. So I'm gonna plug this sucker in, get it connected to the Bluetooth on my phone, see what all the cells are at right now. On the last one I kept getting an over voltage message, and so it stopped charging. One of the cells, I want to say it was like cell, yeah, it was cell 1, would always hit the 4.2, and so it stopped charging once it read that one was too high, and so it completely stopped charging. It wouldn't completely balance out. None of the other cells would hit 4.2. So yeah, we'll see what this one's at. And then on top of that, cell number 2 was super low. I want to say it was like, well, I won't even say what it was, my guesstimate, because it's been like a week and a half or so, so I may have forgotten, but it was off by quite a bit. And I'll show you guys on my phone. I took some screenshots, and that's how they were able to kind of diagnose the battery and say that I needed to send it back. So yeah, let me get this plugged in, and yeah, we'll get it all checked out. Alright guys, hopefully you can see this. It's really hard to tell with the GoPro, but got it all connected, it's charging, everything's reading out very well. Before, I don't know if you guys could see, ooh, maybe that's a little better, but before, when I would charge this sucker, so the blue is the lowest voltage cell out of the 20, this is a 72, right? And the red is your highest one. So if you guys start kind of looking around on all these other ones, you can even pause it, but as you can see, they're all very, very close. So they're all 3.55, some are 3.59, about to jump over to 3.56, and the blue is jumping around as to which one is your lowest one. So it's going around trying to charge up whichever ones are the lowest ones, getting them up to par, and obviously trying to hit what their highest one is. And so yeah, so it's balancing the battery out. And so with the last one, these two, the red and the blue, would never change from the first cell and the second cell. The first cell was always the highest, and the second cell was always the lowest. In here, I'll show you guys really quick. So this is a screenshot of what the other one was doing. So this is the last one that I ever sent to them, where they were like, oh yeah, you need to send that to us so we can look at what's going on. So if you guys can see, all the other ones are 3.8, 1 or 3.0, right? So that's kind of normal, being off by 0.01. But this one, 3.81 to 3.77, that's a huge gap, and so that's a big no-no. And here, let me show you guys, just because I don't want you guys to see me scrolling through all my pictures. I'll show you guys one of the other ones where there was a fault alarm that popped up. Okay, so here we go. So this guy right here, hopefully this is showing up clearly. It's really hard to tell when you're using the GoPro, but anyways, so this one's got two faults right at the top. First one says some volt high level 1 and then cell volt high level 2. So it would stop charging, and as you can see, these are all supposed to hit 4.2, but this would stop charging at, let's see what the highest one was, so 4.18. And so the battery never fully charged. This is normally what I'd get, and I'd have to unplug, replug, get back in, and even if I left it to 24 hours that they suggested, it wouldn't balance out. So that's how that whole conversation started. And even right here, see 4.18 to 4.14. You can kind of start telling there that it's doing a little something funky. So when I wrote it, let me see if I can find that picture. All the cells ended up balancing out pretty decently well. See, and if you guys could tell, remember how I mentioned that the red and blue was always the first and second cells? So it ended up balancing out kind of well, but it seemed like after, I don't know, I think I got the battery down, well, I can go look real quick. So that was 4.08, and once I got the battery down to 3.8, as you can see at the top right here, that's when things started getting very wonky, and there was a bigger separation between what the cell voltages were. So yeah, we'll see what happens with this one. So far it seems like it's working out really well, and it's kind of bouncing around the cells and charging them up and getting them all kind of nice and evenly charging them up. So yeah, we'll see what happens. I'm gonna get this puppy charged up to 100 for the first time. According to that, it says that there's no previous cycles on the battery, but they kind of said not to go off of any of those. But with the other one, every time I charge it, I think I got like 3 charges out of it until I really started questioning it, and I hit him up about it, and so that was counting those pretty well. So we'll see what happens with this one, and if the cell count is pretty accurate every time I charge it. It's not going to be every time, right? So like if I was at 80% and then charged it back up to 100, that probably won't count it as a cycle. The smart BMS thing will probably know, but if I discharge it from like 100 to, let's say, about 30% or so, then that would, I would say like 95% would count it as a charging cycle. So yeah, it's got to go through a certain amount of voltages before a high voltage and a low voltage of whatever it, however it determines it. I don't really know how this one does it, and what voltages it uses to determine what one cycle has been. So yeah, can't speak too much on that, but anyways, we'll see what this looks like once I get it fully charged, and I'll show you guys. We'll be back and I'll show you guys and see what it's at. So yeah, stay tuned for that later on in the video. Or what I am gonna do right now is I'm gonna put this on though, and see how that mounts on here, and I'll show you guys really quick, because pretty excited for that to be hitting a little bit more. I can probably even wrap this. Yeah, buddy, I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna wrap this with some carbon fiber, make it look a little nicer. So yeah, BRB. All right, boys, so we got it on there. Dude, got a little freaking piece of debris right there, bummer. And then when this like clinched down on it, kind of pushed it down a little bit, but it's wrapped, looks carbon-ish. And dude, looks way better than it would have just sitting there black. But yeah, that'll do. That's how it sits, I guess. I don't know, it doesn't come with any instructions, but I mean, it does what it's supposed to. If anything, we'll end up popping the battery in there and then seeing how much gap we got underneath here, and see if we got to apply that foam underneath there to see if it's gonna do anything to this latch. And by do anything, I mean if there's gonna be too much gap in here, and we're gonna just end up hearing it slap all over the place. So anyways, we'll get the battery in there and we'll see what it does. So there you have it, guys. Give it a little longer. It's at 83.8, and these are the readings that I'm getting. Fault alarm 2, so that happened again. As you can see, the highest one is 4.2 and the lowest being 4.1. Why these aren't all balancing out and hitting 4.2? I mean, they're all pretty darn close, I think. I mean, yeah, that's our lowest one right there, but you would think, I don't know if this is coming out right, but you would think, yeah, you'd be able to just about fully charge the sucker, but it keeps hitting that fault alarm. So I'm thinking that's what ends up stopping it from continuously charging and cranking all these other ones that are lower up and getting them to that 4.2. So yeah, this was the same thing that my first one was doing, and now this one's doing it, although the numbers aren't as far off. So yeah, we shall see. Gonna go take this for a ride and see how all the cells end up looking after the first ride. So yeah. Alright boys, so went on a decently long ride. That was probably like 25-30 miles or so. Actually, I should say this is like the second ride on this one cycle. This is counting it down right. Obviously I've only charged it once, so that is correct, unless Chai did a test cycle. But yeah, as you guys can see, hopefully these numbers are showing up clearly. All these numbers, everything is at 3.7, so it's discharging a-okay. Loving that, loving the range. Everybody that, or the other two guys that I went with, as you guys can see, I'm down at 58%. I didn't even start with a full battery on this ride, on this last ride. So 2 rides on this, and I started with like 94% battery and rode about 25-30 miles, something like that. My other 2 buddies ended up coming back with 11%, and the other one was at 15%. So as you can see, this battery is just, it's amazing when it comes to longevity. So yeah, we're gonna see if this continues. Gonna take it down a little bit further. I'd be surprised once I get back if this is even in the mid. It probably will be like in the upper 40s, but yeah, you don't want to get these cells below. This is a 72 volt battery, and you don't want to get these cells below 2.9 or 58 volts, depending on what kind of display you have on your screen. So I won't be anywhere near that. I bet you can take pretty easy. Just go for a cruise and take a little one of my little ST cars out. So maybe I'll include a little bit of footage of that. And so yeah, and then we'll charge this back up and see where it's at.
In the front yard.
Yeah, hopefully this kind of helps you guys out in seeing what your battery should be doing. But this is exactly what your battery should be doing. The only issue I've had with this is just not reaching the 4.2 volts and charging completely and getting those fault alarms on there. So yeah, other than that, let's go get into this little ride sesh. Also, I'll show you guys what I mean by this needing to hit 4.2 volts on some of my other batteries, RC car batteries, which like I said, these should all be hitting 4.2, like I said initially in the beginning of this video. So yeah, I'll show you guys that in a little bit. Alright guys, so made it out to our beautiful little spot here. Bunch of little jumps. Like I said, just wanted to come out here and kind of have fun with the RC car, but also discharge the battery on this thing for a little bit. And also, so this is what I was talking about earlier when it came to batteries. So as you guys could see, these are 3 cells, not 20 cells like this thing, but this is what it should be looking like when it comes to the Sur Ron. Hopefully you guys can see that, but it's 3 cell. It's not 20, but still, as you guys can see, when a cell is fully charged, it'll read 4.2. And go ahead and show you on this one too. So this thing's a 6S car, and that's what this takes. Hopefully that's coming out well. But as you guys can see, or hopefully see, that is also reading 4.2. So yeah, that's what this should be reading as well. But it doesn't when it's fully charged. Maybe after getting this one cycle in, I don't know, it'll hopefully show 4.2. But if it doesn't, then yeah, I don't know, maybe hit them back up again and see if there's anything they can do about that. But yeah, anyways, you can play with this little car for a little bit, maybe go explore a little around here with the Sur Ron, and call it a day for today. And hopefully by the time I get home, it took like 5% to get out here, so it didn't eat up much of the battery, so it'll be totally fun when it comes to not discharging it past the voltages that they don't want us to. Also, this little sucker worked great when it came to keeping all that mud and stuff off. I was gonna wash the bike, but I was like, I can come back and get it kind of dirty, so I'll wash it after this ride, make her look all nice and crispy. So yeah. Alright, well, my temptation is getting the best of me. I said I wasn't really gonna jump this thing until I had the suspension dialed, but you know, one little jump ain't gonna hurt. It's just a little gap. You know, I'm sizzling. I should hit this one too, but I haven't hit those ones with the Sur Ron at least. So, hey, yeah, just enjoying this beautiful day out here. Just got done with the little session of the RC car. Battery's doing great. Just checked it, and it's discharging like how it should. So, I don't know. Hopefully, it's just a little sploof or something. That was a nice little fun jump right there. Not messing up the lip, no nothing. Don't have to give it a water throttle right before. Just kind of coast into it and let it have a little bit of throttle, and it gets you right up and over perfectly. So I'm gonna start working on some of these jumps out here. Like I said, I need to set the suspension up a little better, so if I do land quite a bit short, I don't end up paying for it pretty darn good by bottoming out in it, like overshooting me over the bars or something, because that would suck. The only thing that does suck around here is that there's so much broken glass. Pretty easy to puncture the tire out here, so I don't like really riding out here, but it's all good. Any place that you could ride without having to pay for, dude, that's solid. That's what I say. I might hit it one more time just because it felt good. Buttery right on the bottom end of that lip. There's so many of them out here though. It's pretty sick once you just start looking around. Look at that one. I wonder if you're supposed to hit that one that way and up onto the hill. A little old one right there. Looks like the landing used to be there, or the other way around. Can't really tell which way the lip is supposed to go and which direction you're supposed to hit it, but yeah, this is just a little bit of the area that I like to cruise at. Another little spot where I like to do a little bit of testing, you know what I mean? Ooh. It's fun. Gets the job done. Oh man, so I forgot every time I turn off the bike. No wonder. I was feeling a little underpowered. Every time I turn off the bike and turn it back on, if I didn't have my phone on me, then I've got to switch it back over to ludicrous mode, which I didn't do. I was kind of wondering why I was feeling a little underpowered. But yeah, this is it. Gonna head back home. Maybe throw some wheelies in here, just to, you know, help discharge the battery a little bit better, because dude, we're freaking solid. So anyways, yeah. Alright, so I ended up taking a bit of a detour. And since I knew I wasn't even going to be close to the 2.9, decided to go a little further. I said that when I get back, I probably wouldn't be even in the 40s. So I lied, because we went down to 31. So that's about as much as I want to be going down. Me personally, 30%, 3.5. It's a nice voltage to stop at, that the battery will be happy. And so yeah, this is always wrong, but they said not to pay attention to this. So anyways, some voltage, 71.3. So we are definitely in the clear when it comes to discharging it too low. So yeah, I'm gonna charge it and see what happens this time, see if we get any fault alarms, and see what any other things will pop up, see if they all charge up nicely. As you can see, hopefully this is showing up clearly, but these are, every single one of these is at 3.5, 3.5. So again, discharging very nicely, unlike my last one, so very happy about that. So yeah, quick little update on me charging the battery. As you can see, we're pretty close to being fully charged. Everything is at 4.1. Everything is balancing out nicely. So if you could see, again, the red one is the highest one, the blue one is the lowest one, and it's bouncing around, balancing all these cells out pretty darn well. There's very, very little deviation right now, so hopefully, fingers crossed, it doesn't give me another fault alarm and stop charging before it reaches a full charge, and all of them are reading just about the same. So yeah, buddy. All right, so did end up getting those 2 fault alarms, but it's still charging. We're at 83.7. It's still cranking at the 6 amps that I set it to. So all is good so far. So we'll see when this sucker is going to shut off, if it even does. Because the last time I tried charging this with the first battery, and the first time that I charged it, or charged this battery, when I had those two, it never reached a 4.2, and 83.7, which is what it's reading on the voltage here, is what it ended up stopping at. It didn't go any higher than that. So I'm hanging out right here, keep cleaning around the garage, and yeah, and see what ends up happening, and yeah, keep you guys updated. Alright guys, so pretty freaking stoked. As you guys can see, hopefully this is coming out well. So I'll try to give you guys a few different angles and see if this comes out clear for you guys. But just about every single cell is getting there, or just about at the 4.2. Really, really close. And the charger is still going. What I did do was turn this down to 2 right after I filmed this little last portion of the clip, and as you can see, we have hit 84. That's the first time I've seen 84 on here, and now the amperage is just kind of trickling down, taking care of the other cells in the pack. And yes, I have had it on 100 the entire time, but even still, they say that even if you have it at 100 or at less, it's gonna end up trickle charging it to 100. So yeah, kind of, I mean, I don't want to say it's pointless, but it's almost pointless to have this back there, because if you just leave it charging and you wanted it to stop at like 80%, then it's never going to do that. Oh, there we go. So it just stopped. Light's green. So now it's definitely not going to charge anymore. As you can see on the charger, it's not cranking out anymore. And let's see, we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 of the cells, 8 out of the 20 actually made it to 4.2. All the other ones have not. And so from what I'm seeing here, yeah, I mean, so our biggest Oh, and it's gonna go around. So what I'm seeing here is, right now at least, this is your two biggest voltage deviations between the cells. Right here is a 4.2 and a 4.17. Pretty darn close, pretty darn happy, although just a bummer that all these aren't ending up at 4.2, kind of like how I showed you guys with the RC cars, or my RC car battery. This should really technically be hitting 4.2. What you don't want to see is anything higher than like 4.3, 4.35 I think it is. Don't quote me, but you guys can do a little bit of research. 4.3, or maybe I'll go on the computer and show you guys real quick and see what I'm talking about. But yeah, it should never, as soon as you start getting close to this being fully charged, I like to keep my eye on it, just because that's when the battery's at full capacity, and you definitely don't want a fire to go off in case something fails in that BMS. So this is why I'm out here right now, and also to film a little bit of this